So good morning. You know, one of the things that I've been thinking a lot about lately is mentors and people who've had influence on you and your life. And, you know, as I think back over my career, there have been different times when I didn't really know it at the time, but there were people that came alongside of me and helped me form or shape my personal constitution as it pertains to doing business, how to interact with people, sometimes resolving conflicts, looking for ways, creative ways to kind of remedy a situation when maybe you don't have a lot of tools at your disposal in order to get it done. And, you know, I thought about, okay, I have a college degree, I have a teaching degree, and, you know, did that really prepare me for, you know, a career after school? And I guess in some ways, maybe it made sure that I got out of bed on time and actually completed tasks. But I worked between 40 and 55 hours a week during my college career, and I was able to graduate with a double major in 4.5 years with a teaching degree that I'd never really practically applied and used. Now, indirectly, I think, you know, some of the classroom management skills and some of those things that are learned as a result of that practical discipline have definitely helped me. But in reality, I think that, you know, my work career during college probably helped form me more than my actual studies. And, you know, the reality is, I think most people are influenced, both good and bad, by their environment and their surroundings. And, you know, that got me thinking about the different mentors I've had along the lines, both in my personal life and in my professional life. And there have been a couple of people that really, you know, as I stop and think about, you know, the adolescent, you know, 19 to 22, there was a guy named Chuck that came alongside me when I was in college, needed a music project, and I was a drummer and a guitar player and played in bands, and he wanted to try to get the music that was in his head and that he put down on a 4-track recorder into process. And, you know, Chuck was an important influence on my life, because I think for the first time I saw a guy who, you know, he had a sales territory. I had no idea what that was. But you know, within a couple of years, I knew very, very well what that was. But it was kind of a forming experience for me, and he was so gracious with his time. Gave me some opportunities to play music on recordings. I got to see how he handled himself from a professional standpoint as well. Another influencer who probably had a more profound influence on my ABCs, my always be closing mentality, is a guy named Cliff. And I worked for Cliff pretty much my entire college career. And Cliff was a small business owner and just an absolute gem of a man, man of deep faith, as was Chuck. And you know, those two guys really came alongside me at a time in my life when I was trying to figure out what I was going to do with the rest of my life. And I think between the two of them, I can either thank them or blame them, or maybe a little of both. Without turning this into too much of a rant, I'm going to break this up into smaller bits and pieces and knock this out over a few days. But during my college career, I really believe that I learned a lot of my work ethic, my ability to maybe think out of the box, and just do whatever it takes to get things done. I learned from both of them.